standing on the corners walking, just driving some of the hottest cars New York has ever seen. From dropping some of the hottest verses rappers ever heard. From the ghost spot with the smoke, fleeing the murder scene, you know me well. From nightmares of a lonely cell, my only hell. But since when y'all brothers know me to fail? Heck no, we're all my brothers with the rubber grips for shots. And if you with me, mama, rub on your tits and whatnot. I'm from the school of the hard knocks. You must not let outsiders violate our boxing in my pot. Let's stick up the world and split it 50-50, Let's take the dough and stay real jiggy, And sip the Chris and get pissy, flowing beneath me like the memory of my brother Biggie, baby. You know it's hell when I come through. The life and times of Sean Carter, brother, volume 2. Y'all brothers get ready. It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. It's the hard knock life. It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. It's the hard knock life.
Hello, everybody. Glad to have you here tonight. We're with the one and only Rue Black of Black Root Investing in the house. Dark Horse. What was the URL behind your head?
Darkhorsewatcher.com.
That's
boom,
right.
Boom, boom.
Give them a follow over on YouTube, X. You guys have stated that you love when Rue Black is on because we have the same style of research. And yes, always glad to have Rue on. We've had a little bit of interruptions and so on the last few weeks and whatnot, but we're trying to get things back where it's, Rue's a special guest every other week. But without further ado, Rue, how you doing tonight?
Great, man. Great. Smashing. How about you?
I'm doing not too shabby, man. Glad to be here with you guys. We're going to welcome some of you guys. We're going to get some of the headlines. Obviously, Rue has some alpha that he's going to be sharing with us tonight. I don't know why I have some connection thing going on. Do I look kind of blurry on your side for whatever reason?
No, you look good on my side.
Okay, well, then StreamYard making it up. But guys, please smash the like. It does trigger the YouTube algorithm and the X algorithm. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and welcome you guys. Please give Rue a follow, as well as myself, over on the X platform. The thing above Rue's head, I could be followed at DPG Maximus, and he could be followed on YouTube and X over at Black Rue, BLACKRUE. So let's start off with the first comment of the day, and it comes from the one and only Mondo 90s. Max, keep up the strong work. Preparing for the future isn't for the faint of heart. I would totally agree with that. With all the Ripple news, including what Japan has said about running its banking through the XRPL, is it good for Jasmy? I'll give a quick answer on that, then I want to hear Rue. My answer is yes, it is good for Jasmy. I don't know if you guys remember a while back the collaboration with Will Fix, and there was something really big to understand, and that is the whole thing with Interledger. And so we were talking about Jasmy entering into finance democracy and so on. So I do feel it's a win-win, not only for XRP, but for Jasmy as well. Any of that old research, right? It's not time sensitive. Go to the video section and so on. Your thoughts on what he just mentioned, Rue?
I think there's just going to be a lot of interoperability. So anytime you hear any XRPO and any Jasmy stuff, I think it's just going to be good because all of those are going to interoperate. And I know you've talked about it before. There are some Jasmy XRP type connections. So I think there's going to be a lot of interoperability.
Yeah, I do feel the same way as well. There's just too much there, especially when we talk about like SBI Holdings. We talk about Mizuho Bank, like what we talked about earlier with even Swift, you know.
Yeah.
So, and guys, I just want to state this also. When we talk about Swift blockchain, we're referring to just that SWFT. It's not the other one that is existed around since the 70s, right? That has been had sanctions on Russia and stuff like that. There's a big difference. Every now and then, there's some people are thinking, it's traditional Swift, as in SWIFT, that made a coin. That is not the case. But Swift blockchain has tremendous use case. That's why we cover it. I feel like there's huge upside potential. So I just want to throw that out there because I do realize there's a few new people. I'm sure you get that on your end now and then
I
as
do.
well.
I do, yeah.
All right, let's go further down. Dennis Leal's in the house. Hey, man, thank you for all your help for the last few days with some of your reposts and whatnot. It's much appreciated. Crypto Coin Guy, shout out to him and the Elmo token. He says he just wants to say thank you to Max. Well, thanks, man, for being awesome. You're awesome, too. You look forward to the live streams and this crypto family. Long live crypto and long live the Elmo ERC Army. Well, right on. Yes, we have some news in regards to the Ethereum ETFs. That is one of the main highlights tonight. We'll get into a little bit about that as well. But guys, I mean, if you like the show and you like the style, you owe it to yourself to also follow Rue over on his platform. Rue, just real quick, if you don't mind, remind these guys when you do your live shows, what times?
Wednesday at 6-ish and Saturdays at like 10-ish in the morning.
Yeah. And then speaking of which, let's just give you a plug real quick. So here is Rue's YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and highlight that. So he can be followed over on YouTube. And as you can see here, this is his YouTube channel. And let me just kind of show you some things. So he has some recent, like I said, Swift Bombshell. I tuned in at the tail end of that. I got to watch that myself. But yeah, he's always keeping up with anything Swift coin, Swift blockchain. He covers quite a few other things like Dragon. I have to get more into understanding some of these other things. Anything else that you're really bullish on other than Swift coin? Jasmy.
Definitely Dragon Chain, also LCX,
Right.
and ones that you've covered like Stronghold and Velo, both on the Stellar blockchain. So yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, those would be the main ones.
Very cool. Here is his X as well. Let's go ahead and share this. And yes, he can be followed. We're at Blackroot on X. He also posts things exclusively over there. He also live streams over there, like dual live stream and so on. Man, my StreamYard looks really weird for some reason. All right, so let's go ahead and stop the screen on that. Let's kick it back to a few more comments. Dwight Von Tress, welcome. Just going to welcome just a few more of you guys and so on. Glad to see you. Good day to you too, sir. Greg, Papa Kev. We got the one only Tim Shea in the house. Mayor Crypto Commissioner. Go ahead, sorry. Yes. Represent the 589th District XRP Army. We always do that. Max to go. I don't know about that, but that's quite the compliment. Thank you, Balaclava, man. There's a lot of great researchers in this space, but appreciate the compliment. I'm just going to kind of rapid fire go through some of these. WF Capital is here. Crypto Homes 777. Underdog Research Channel. Yes.
Woo-woo. So,
Underdog.
bro,
we are very honored. We are not all spruced up for you because we didn't know. But, I do have one of my other shirts on for a change. But thank you. I always give you a nice plug. Guys, Underdog has solid research. He speaks so, spot on. His delivery. Support these guys in this space. It's the least that we can do, especially if you're enthusiastic about research, right? Absolutely. We are honored to see you in the comments. Ease in the house.
Add his billionaire blueprint full plan video on Swift is hands down the biggest piece of Swift information you can find. So if you really want to do yourself a favor, you really want to know the most information about Swift, definitely go over there and check that out.
I would totally agree with that. I've been watching some of those premieres and so on. Absolutely. E's in the house. This is one of your guys from your community.
Yeah, what's up, E?
Glad to have you. Crypto Homes 777. I didn't welcome you earlier. Welcome. Let's also welcome back Papa Kev. Hamish, man, welcome back. I saw you tuned into Rue the other day.
Thanks for coming through, bro. Appreciate it.
I love this comment. This tells me that people pay attention to the coverage when they say stuff like this. Boil it, mash it, stick it in a damn stew. That is something I say. Thanks for showing out GTA V4 Life. Say what's up to you and me. And let's see here. We got a few more you guys welcome. Bobby Lorette, Praetorian in the house. And then you know what? There's more people to welcome. But with that said, you want to know something, Brew?
So,
Guess what? Today really was a good day. It
for
really,
sure it
really,
was,
truly,
bro.
truly was. I was looking at Coin Market Cap, right? Let's share this real quick. Have you guys been checking out Coin Market Cap other than just ETS and the big news? But guys, remember how I was talking about some of these things? Believe it or not, BTT old. Look at that. Remember I told you literally, guys, the other day, you might want to consider your swing trade for BTT old. Look at that. 923%. Nice swing trade. Also, audio. I'm into that. Don't talk about it enough. Doing pretty well on that. And, shout out to Praetorian because guess what? I know you guys don't see on the screen, but take my word for it. And that is Luxo. LYX. Up about 58% on the week. Been doing some nice things on the 24-hour chart. So even though the rest of
it after your video,
that's what Praetorian was mentioned, but I don't know. We'll see. It's flattering, but I just want to state this: it was a good day. So with that also said, why is this such a good day? Well, we got something for you guys. Here we go.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kinda odd. No barking from the dog, no small. And mama cooked the breakfast with no haul. I got my grub on, but didn't dig out. Finally got a call from a girl I wanna dig out. Booked it up for later as I hit the door. Thinking, will I live another 24? I gotta go cause I got me a drop top. And if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop. Had to stop at a red light, looking in my mirror, not a jacker in sight. And everything is alright. I got a beat from Kim and she can fuck all night. Called up the homies and I'm asking y'all, which fuck are y'all playing? Basket on the court and I'm trouble. Last week fucked around and got a triple-double. Freaking nigga every way like MJ. I can't believe a day was a good day. Shit. I can't believe today was a good day.
It has been a good day.
I love that one, bro. I love that one. That was good. You might have to.
Thanks.
You start a channel on X, nothing but those.
Well, it's copyright free, and yeah, who doesn't love Cube back in the day? My God, right? Anyway, Ice Cube. People joke around. They call me Filipino Ice Cube. So Ice Cube meets Motown. Call it whatever you want. It's pretty cool, and synced it up with the lyrics. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. There is a little bit of language in it. Come on, we're all adults here for the most part. But guys, I want to state this. I want to share this with you guys. We're going to get into the hot topic of the day. And basically speaking, I don't know if you guys saw some of the quote unquote breaking news, but let's face it, we do have some breaking news we're going to get into right now.
Very nice.
This is Maximus Crypto Headline News with sideline guest anchor Mr. Black Rue Black in the house. What is the highlight? Well, let's jump into this. Shout out to fellow sideline reporter, unofficially Icy Amphibian. What did he share? Well, it's this, straight from Coinbase. And as you can see here on the screen, big announcement. And that is what? It's this, Coinbase ETFs, Ethereum ETFs. Now, Rue, I know that you I can understand that you've seen some of the news and so on. What do you feel as though that is going to happen from here, especially with these alts? I mean, let's face it, was it 25-30% of all smart contracts, right, are on Ethereum? Your thoughts?
My thoughts here. Right after I turn off my alarm because it's raining alarm right now, Max. It's raining alarm.
Right, it's all good. You got to go. All right, well, that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is just basically get into this brief thing about this. Coinbase announced it. Some people feel as though from Watch Your Guru that there's like, man, Watch Your Guru hasn't really been consistent with posting accurate data. IC Amphibian posted that as well. And then some people from even the Jasmy community, like shout out to Houston, mentioned, yeah, it's for real. And we looked more into it, and I was just like, okay, it is for real. So welcome back. Your thoughts in regards to this announcement, Ethereum ETFs. Do you feel as though some of these alts will run?
I think we might have to wait to like third quarter to see the alts really run, like third quarter, fourth quarter. I think we're still gonna just lull for a while, but as far as the if you know who is the backer behind Ethereum, as far as the money men, I'm not surprised that we got an Ethereum ETF. Uh, they also approved it over in Hong Kong, that they approved the spot Bitcoin and the spot Ethereum ETF. So I'm completely not surprised.
Good way of looking at it. We're going to get into a little bit more about this, but want to recognize a community member who dropped a super chat. So, what's the point of dropping super chats if old Max don't even recognize it, right? Max scam, right? Not really, but I want to thank Jake Mack. I don't know if I've seen you before. I don't know if you're the type of guy in which like you've just been listening, you've been new for a while, and has finally decided, hey, I want to comment. But whatever the case, Jake, sincerely, thank you so much. It's more than appreciated. It does help the channel. It says, Maximus, thank you for your very informative early videos. Jasmy, you helped me get in very early. Go against the herd. Nice work, man. Yeah, I lived through all that FUD. I've had people, in which I don't know what happened to some of these people, but there's this one guy, his name is Ronbo. I don't know why we don't see him in the comments anymore, but he mentioned he's just like, are you worried about your reputation? He's like, you're gambling. I'm like, how am I gambling? I've done way more research than the average guy. So I stood by my research and I was convicted by it. I was like, there's too much with Jasmy. And as the saying goes, who doesn't want to buy the bottom? We literally, hopefully it was you too, Jake. We bought the bottom. I've been covering Jasmy for, let's see, we're about to enter into June. So it'll be a little over a year and a half. There's obviously there's more other people out there like Jesse, KIR Finance, IC Amphibian, Lil Bidman, who you're going to see on the unofficial collaboration tonight, that have covered Jasmy through all the good times and the bad. How about Michael Cornwell, Elon Muff, right? Our fellow brothers community. He has been into Jasmy even before me. I think, his first bag was like 33 cents. He could have been like, Jasmy scam. But you know what? It's understanding it's the entry points of when we come in. Like me and Cardano, I still hold Cardano. I could be like, Cardano scam. No. But I did pay too much for it, but I'm still holding that. And I do think it's a solid project. Who knows? Maybe I do finally DCA into it. But I feel as though there's a lot of other better projects. But don't shoot me on that one.
Oh,
But thank
Max,
you, Jake.
did you
Yeah.
see my face when you said that someone said you were gambling, literally gambling? I like that's the funniest joke I've ever heard in my entire life. Because you literally give us the research and you put it on screen so everyone can validate it and verify it if they want to. So it's quite laughable that anyone would ever say anything like that.
Well, thanks,
To
brother.
me.
Appreciate that. I mean, I don't hold it against the guy. I mean, I have thick skin. It's just, but let's face it, guys. For those of you guys that are in the Jasmy, darn well when it comes to Jasmy, probably gets more FUD or had more FUD than anything else out there. It was beyond ridiculous, and even when we're at 2 cents and so on, what is that like I can't remember exactly what it is. It was at least a 12x. I'm pretty sure from where we were at the bottom. there's still people like, oh, it's only at a penny. Oh, it's only at 2 cents. I mean, shoot, the thing could go to 5 cents, 50 cents. Oh, it's only at that. There'll be people that will point out that until it hits $4.99, which is previous all-time highs as far as coin value, that they won't recognize it. Forget that. There's a big difference between how many coins were out for distribution or circulation compared to what is at now, basically close to 100%. But long explanation. Thank you, Jake. Also, thank you brother Rue. Appreciate that. Just going to just double check the other screen real quick. We're going to get back into a little bit more about this before we kick into some of our outlines. But yeah, thank you so much, Jake and Praetorian. A lot of you guys I see here. Backcracker. That's an interesting name. Are you a, what do you call it? Chiropractor. Anyway. All right, William, welcome. RTA Varus, you guys rock. Thank you so much for being here. Dementia Joe in the house. Interesting name. All right, and let's see here.
Oh, you know that name.
Yes.
You know what that's about.
So Hill Adami, welcome. Goo God's in the house as well, and we do appreciate you guys. All right, so we're gonna do now is simply get back into just a tad bit more about this. So here's the other thing that was brought up. Some of you guys follow this guy. So this is basically paulgruel.east. He says, this week, this day, been a roller coaster. Unlike any other he's seen before, ETH is effectively deemed a commodity. Can you imagine that? As we've always known it to be. Okay, I don't know about that. He says he's proud to be on the team Coinbase, trusted partner with custodians for many of the issuers who had 19B-4s approved tonight. Of course, there's a whole thread about this. It gets into more of that nitty gritty. I don't want to necessarily blow it up and get super into this, but it's all here. And it's really interesting to see some of the things like ARC21 shares Ethereum ETF, Franklin Ethereum ETF. I mean, we cover so many of these things. And yeah, there's more of that video and so on. But just on the surface, Rue, I mean, who would have ever thought Ethereum basically being a commodity? Really?
Man, I knew it. Like, again, like if you know, like if you really like, if people do the research, you can find that Consensus are the guys who do the code for Ethereum, and you can see also that JP Morgan owns part of Consensus. So thereby, effectively, you could say JP Morgan is behind Ethereum. So like JP Morgan is the biggest bank in the US. They essentially gifted Quorum to Ethereum. So if they're backed by the biggest American bank, are we surprised here?
Yeah, very, very good point. I mean,
I know they threw a little curveballs, like with the XRP case. They brought up some stuff where the previous Gary Gensler's like predecessor was doing some backdoor deals with Ethereum, but if JP Morgan's behind them, and you really think they're going to get called to carpet for that? Probably not, right? So that's my thought on it.
Well, nice way of looking at it. Another thing that we're going to get into, just kind of funny. Shout out to Crypto Coin Guy, Elmo Token, right? Look at this. I play the audio, but what do you guys think? Is this AI or is this really Vitalik right now? I don't know. Kind of leaning towards AI. But
it's not bad. The AI is not bad on it. The neck's pretty close.
Right.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. Maybe they're getting better with it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But whatever the case be, interesting. All right. So, guys, what we're going to do now is just double check the comments real quick. We're going to kick it into the outline. I really do appreciate you guys being here. We, got some good feedback from some of you guys. Let's just read some of this. Pluto Bollock, hey Max, have you done a video on Spell Token? No, but we have covered it on the live a few times. It was way back, like maybe a year or two ago. But anyway, Spell finally getting some attention. I know Mike Cornwell has, I think, some Spell, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's read this. Since Jasmy is an Ethereum blockchain, you think now that the ETF got approved, you think will affect Jasmy a lot? What's your conservative price prediction for Jasmy this bull run? You know, I share that. Maybe you're new to this and so on, and that's okay. But the way I look at it is, when we saw Jasmy take off, you know, it was actually during the time where a lot of other things weren't really doing it. Like it was one of the few alts that did its own thing against the market. And that was awesome. That was super, super impressive. They did it twice. So, yeah, it's a good catalyst. Don't get me wrong, because technically speaking, Jasmy's still on Ethereum. They're going to go with this layer 2 here soon. But conservatively speaking, I mean, I understand most people are going to get out of Jasmy at $1. You gotta do what you gotta do. For me personally, I did that one video where I shared, what was it, the Twitter space, or X space now we call it, with for example, Dip Metaverse, and then we also have Brian from, he's one of the ambassadors from Jasmy, and we're talking about, like, are you paper handing Jasmy even at, like, $1 to $3? Jasmy to 1787, more like 30. That's not, most people hear that and they think we're just absolutely like, all right, I'm out of here. This guy, Filipino Ice Cube, where you want to call him, is bat crazy. And I get it, because it's like they look at the market cap, they look at the tokenomics, and they're just like, there's no way it's going to get there. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to show you guys something tonight, here soon, actually, right after this comment. And that is this: Jasmy, could it very well be the next Plaid? I know that's why a lot of you guys are tuned in. And also, you're really tuned in for what Rue's going to bring to you guys. I don't want to make it a really long thing because I want to respect Rue's time. So let's just jump into this. Answer that question for yourself. What do you think in regards to this? We're talking about IoT, finance democracy. What is the bigger picture? And why would I say Jasmy the next Plaid? Pull up the branding for a second. Let's jump into this segment. Smash the like if you haven't done so already. We're at 150. Let's hope that we can scale up more into the 200s. That'd be great, especially with having Rue on as our special guest. This is the Jasmy segment of the night, and it's just going to be a brief one for the most part. So it's going to clear out some tabs real quick. Kind of makes things run a little bit better. I want to give a shout out to both the one and only Neo X Tricks and also Lil Bidman, okay, for some of the research in regards to this. What am I talking about? Well, let's pull it up. Let's start things off right here. It is straight from Neo X Tricks. And like you see, he mentioned something that was posted literally yesterday. All right, kind of an update. When it comes to SmartCom, this was actually posted a few months ago. So I look at it like it's kind of like an update. What does Neo mention? Well, he states here that to implement this authentication system on a large scale in Japan, Jasmy's partnering with SmartCom Laboratories. Now, some of you guys follow this hardcore on X. And basically speaking, when you get more into this and so on, you will see here that, SmartCom is not something that should just fly under the radar. So another thing that's point out is that they are a leading organization in Japan. They specialize in research and development of advanced communication tech and IoT solutions. They're also known for their innovative approaches and expertise, if you will, when it comes to the whole thing of creating cutting-edge systems that connect various infrastructures to IoT in Japanese society. What's society? Society 5.0. As I got more into this, Lil Bidman chimed in about this back on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And what's most important about all this is some upcoming dates coming up here really, really soon, guys. So Lil Bidman points out that on June 21st, 2024, says the former Sony president's office manager will discuss innovations. Look at this, guys. This flew under the radar. Vein authentication, challenges. Remember how we talked about Mofiria? It's kind of spelled a little bit different. But what they're tackling with the commercialization of AI robotics such as ABO, innovations that will inspire the future to be explained by Jasmy. Now, you can look more into this if you want. You have to interpret it from Japanese to English. You can have an idea about this. And like he says, Mofiria is actually technically spelled with an F. But when you go to the Sony official announcement, it brings you to this old post. And guess what? Look where this all started, guys. This started a while back, and I'm not going to harp too long on this because I want to respect Ruth's time. It's a press release. Sony, were you aware, announced back in 2009 that they wanted to develop a compact size, high speed, high accuracy, finger vein authentication technology dubbed Mofiria. Wow. And to have Jasmy part of the mix, now some people are going to be like, no, there's no way. There's no way because Jasmy didn't exist then. Right. But what do you have as far as your plug, your connector to make this all happen? Now, why am I connecting this to some of this other stuff? And why are we going back this far? Well, let's take you to this because it is worth pointing out. And back to this real quick. This is straight from IT News Pro. And you may be also worrying about this. This is interpreted from English, or I should say Japanese to English. And if you want to go to it, it's it-news-pro.com. But basically speaking, it's these events coming up. The 9th event, Friday, June 21st, 2024. Back to this whole thing of biometric authentication and so on. Former Sony CEO, look at that, speaks about vein authentication innovation, Mofiri's challenge. Huh. And it goes on to also mention some of these things on these key dates and so on, right? But it's understanding, in my opinion, the bigger picture, creating the future with Sony's DNA. Again, go back to that original headline. Look at this for a second. Back in March 30th, 2023, solving social issues with Web3 and blockchain, risk management in digitalized society. Risk management. If you were to read the Jasmy white paper, talks a lot about risk management. And remember the other day when I was talking to you guys specifically about the whole thing of what? All those job listings for Sony in regards to data management, catalog, all these things. So I do think it's a very, very big deal. And I want to jump over to this part real quick. And again, I'm not going to make this too super long. But the point is going over to some of these key things to have you guys have an understanding of why we share this. So this is from mapion.co.jp. That's mapion.co.jp. It's a press release. It does mention Jasmy, July 30th, 2023, roughly a year ago. Why am I sharing this? Just real quick, look at this for a second. You will see here this announcement. And what does it say? Jasmy does what? Develops authentication solution that eliminates the need to enter IDs and passwords. All right. And I'm not going to get into all this because I don't want to make a super long deep dive. We've done enough deep dives about biometrics and so on. But it's all there. Even mentions Aplix, Mofiria, right? Mofiria. Right. So check this out for a second. Your highlight of the night, your boilet, mash it, stick it in a stew should be this. Should be this statement right here. Why? Well, let's take you over to this. Let's take you over to plaid.com. Yeah, Plaid. Now, guys, I want to state this. How many of us have used Plaid? How many of us use Stripe? But you know what? Like I have Wells Fargo. They have Plaid. There's other banks that use Plaid. Is Jasmy going to be the next Plaid? Now, some people say that's too bold, man. That's clickbait. Call it whatever you want. Why would I state this unless I could back it up? Check this out for a second for yourself. This is big. So you will see on even the Plaid site, more customers minus the fraudsters. Verify good users and stop the bad ones in seconds. Seconds. You know, we talk about, for example, let me shrink this down a little bit more because it's not showing the lady's face. But, you know, this scans the lady's face. Even with Stellar, they kind of have something like that similar. But what about the whole thing of a vein, right? Instantly. This represents back to what? This statement. Not needing an ID, not needing passwords. Jasmy can be the all-in-one package for things like this. How so? Well, kind of like we see on Plaid.com. Verify identity data, confirm that information against regulated data sources in seconds. Right? What about Web3 all-in-one package? Yeah, you know where we're going with that. Shows ID card, as we know, when it comes to my number, they're implementing that into all of Japan. And that would be the flip of the switch moment for Jasmy. Just a tad bit more about this. Privacy requests. This is from Plaid. Access, delete, and other data protection rights. But what about having something to automatically do it without having you to manually say yes or no? This other part. Check this out. The most trusted digital finance platform, connecting thousands of companies to millions of customers for faster, safer, and more seamless financial experiences. Remember, Jasmy is entering into finance democracy? Do you see how it all comes together? Like it says, all you need is to onboard new customers, fight fraud, move money, make better risk decisions. But the other thing I want to share real quick with you guys is this. Notice it says it's greater than 100 million user network. Guys, what is Jasmy looking to do? Over was it 103, 104 million PDLs? Just because you don't get news officially about all this stuff, understand the greater, bigger picture. You're still early in Jasmy. You're just at that next step. The first bottom step was bottom 0.0028, right? We're at the next step. Support of over a penny and a half, 2 cents, and so on, where we take it to the next level. For some people say it's too late for Jasmy. Is it really? You're only too late if you have that in your head. It's all about how long you're willing to hold these particular assets. Just a tad bit more about this. This is my own notes I want to get into real quick. So Plaid, hear me out on this real quick. As of April 7, 2021, Plaid had a valuation of 13.4 billion with a B after raising 425 million in a series of D funding rounds. Understand, even with Jasmy, when we talk about Shinzo Abe, 2015, startup rounds and so on, right? Having the United States even work with Japan when it comes to private sector, as Taro Kono would point out. But as of March 2024, Plaid had raised a total of 733 million from investors, including Andreessen Horowitz, Altimeter Capital, Index Ventures, and Coetu. Plaid is the third most valued fintech startup. That was the key thing I mentioned here, guys, is startup in the US after Stripe, which is at 74 billion. And I'm telling you flat out, you got to understand the bigger picture, because when we get into the bigger picture, in my notes, I say to myself, when we try to understand the market cap of where Jasmy could go to, probably 99% of most people that hold it will paper hand Jasmy. So in conclusion, before we wrap this up, and we are going to wrap this up real quick here in a second, there is a comparison when it comes to Jasmy and also Plaid, and I want to get into this for just a moment. And basically speaking, it's the current model. And it's the shift in data ownership, guys, and the monetization of that. Why is it so significant? Well, with the current model, in the Plaid example that we're giving to you tonight, the data owner grants access to your financial data, but Plaid, the middleman, gets paid. What is Jasmy looking to do with this? Well, as we know, this reinforces the current model where companies profit from who? Your data, while you have a little control over that. All right. What about the PDL, Jasmy's PDL, and what about that potential with that? With Jasmy's personal data locker, this puts you in control, like they mentioned in the white paper. Data democratization. How so? Well, you're going to store your data securely, decide on who can access it, and what conditions. You take control. You take ownership. Jasmy is going to basically collect a fee from companies that want to use your anonymized data, right? For analysis, targeted services, so on and so forth, right? The kryptonite of GAFA M. Notice I also said with the M because that's, you got Microsoft part of the mix now. And it's very similar, if you look at it more, to how Plaid works. This is why I'm bringing it to you guys tonight. But crucially, it could definitely benefit from your data's value. Now, the significance for Jasmy, real quick, 3 things, and we will really, really wrap it up. And that is data democratization, obviously. The model in itself aligns, yes, you heard me right, with Jasmy's goal of data democratization, where users can control and profit from the use of their data if they choose to do so. What about creating a new revenue stream? If Jasmy can successfully establish itself as a secure and user friendly platform for data storage and exchange, it could generate revenue by facilitating transactions between data owners and even companies that seek to use that data. True. There's, of course, challenges with this, but the point is building user trust in a country that's even more strict than here in the United States was a huge step forward for Jasmy in understanding the value of data, convincing companies to pay for anonymized data instead of the traditional user profiles. At the end of the day, Jasmy has huge upside potential to disrupt an industry that really needs to be disrupted. What industry? Well, it's GAFA M, and we'll continue to cover this as much as we can. So, your key takeaway: Jasmy, could it very well become the next Plaid? And how much would that be worth in itself? And that is only that particular sector, not to mention all of the other sectors Jasmy's part of. Are you going to diamond hand Jasmy, or are you going to paper hand it? That is a question you need to ask yourself and maybe have a discussion with your family about. All right, that's the Jasmy coverage of the night. Thank you so much for being patient with it. I didn't want to make it super long because I want to respect your time here, brother. With that said, what do you think, Rue, in regards to specifically Jasmy becoming potentially the next Plaid? Are you aware of Plaid? Have you ever used Plaid?
I have used Plaid. A lot of different banking institutions do connect to Plaid. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I could totally see that. When we think of Jasmy almost being kind of like a Japanese national project, like that would be most trusted to interface with any Japanese device. So that would make sense that you would connect that like as a Plaid to banking systems.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize that Jasmy is part of that mix, but they will realize it at some point. I know we talk about like XRP and Stellar and all these other ones, Quant, right? You got to include Jasmy at some point, but I get it. People want to see them prove themselves, and I wanted them to. But it's nice to talk about some of these things. All right, we're gonna end the or take off the whole thing of Jasmy for a second. We're just gonna kick it to the comments for just a moment. I do appreciate you guys being here. It's just a few comments, and then we're gonna get to the Rue Black outline. Rue, you've been awesome. Sticking around for you with some of the stuff I had to mention and so on. We just want to
Thank you.
really, yeah, you're welcome. We just want to, get a good, decent crowd for Rue. He deserves it, man. All right, so let's go further down and let's see here. Crypto Candy, welcome. Greg says that Jasmine will change the world. I agree with that. GG, Digital G, even if we're doing our deal or deep dives, I think that's a typo, in research, we are all still gambling. We just have to weigh our odds and try to make our best bet. That's okay. I mean, I get where you're coming
I
from.
disagree with that. If you're doing your research, you're not gambling. You're making what like an educated guess or more like an educate. Well, okay, sure, but it's more of an educated bet, sort of thing. Because for me, a gamble is something like you're going in and you're like, say, like I'm gambling, I'm playing blackjack, right? Blackjack, you could just go in and gamble and not know the odds of what cards are going to come up. You cannot know the odds of what hands are going to come up. And in that sense, you could be gambling. But if you're a person that goes into blackjack and you know the odds, you know the cards that are going to come up, you're making more of an educated bet. And that's what I would say. Like, okay, we've done our research. We're constantly checking into different things and connecting different dots, connecting different powerful players. So it's way more of an educated bet than it is a gamble. It's not like, and also I can equate a gamble to like a scratch card. With like a scratch card, there's no like educated bet thing that you're doing. Like, it's pure gamble. So that's why I kind of stray away from that. Like more educated bet, more type of an educated decision.
Sounds like a dictionary definition of what you just mentioned. That's pretty good. Bars. No, I'm kidding. All right. All right. We can agree to disagree. We do appreciate you, GG, aka Digital G. I don't know if you're referring to the song. It basically is like Ice Cube meets Motown, basically. It's kind of crazy, right? Anyway. All right. Let's read this. Maybe you can answer this. This is from Goo God. He says, when is the next TGE for Axelar?
What is TGE again?
Is
that Target maybe, or?
Yeah, I imagine Target. We have our own abbreviations.
Well, I know
if you want, I mean, I know that sometimes I get kind of somewhat annoyed with the price prediction, but it's on people's minds. Yeah.
I would say the next target for XLR is something like $7. It got as high as like $2.60, pulled all the way back to like, I think it's at 90 cents right now. So I'd say it's gonna either pull past its previous high and go like a step higher, which is like $5 to $6 to $7. That's where I'm looking at.
Fair enough. Guys, we're almost at 200. Just need 4 more. We do appreciate you guys connecting tonight. Really, really appreciate it. All right, let's read this from Corey Bibe. Hey, Corey, good to see you, man. He says, good evening, future crypto millionaires. You got to say it in that voice. It's just how it goes. Welcome back, Corey. Crypto Caddy, BlackRock incoming. Yeah. Shout out to Will Fix. He was covering Biddle. Terrell, 504. Because of Max, he got into Jasmy around 0.005. Awesome. And because of Rue, I'm in Swiftcoin. See, there's the feedback you're looking for, right?
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that.
Don't sleep on these. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it, Terrell. I mean, that's awesome. All right. Looks like we had a super chat that came through. It is from Terrell, $20 super chat. Thanks, man. That is awesome. Can't thank you enough, man. I really do appreciate that. You've been a long time supporter, even on X. You do support other people in this space. That's what we're talking about, man. Thank you so much, man. Let's just read a couple more comments. I do want to read this from Goo. He says JPM as in JP Morgan, banking ETH, but Jamie Dimon flooding in public school should be illegal. Yeah, I mean, he's just, and then he goes out and buys a bunch of Bitcoin over the weekend, right?
Anyway. Yeah, it should be just like Elon Musk is like AI is going to be destruction of all of us. Meanwhile, he owns part of the Chat GPT. It's crazy, bro. But that's how these guys be playing the game, if you will, right? Like they'll say one thing and do another,
I will state this, guys. I know that I mentioned this before. I'm not done 100% with it because I had some interruptions with my own personal life. But Elon Musk, obviously, the whole thing with Tesla, SpaceX, and so on. There's another thing he's going to be introducing to the world. Investor Place felt as though he was going to release it around May 16th. That, of course, got delayed. I'm still going to cover it. I, of course, don't know the specific day, but I think it's coming soon. And I still want to try my best to deliver that maybe on a Sunday. Might not be this Sunday. And who knows, maybe I missed the boat on it. Real life gets in the way sometimes, but I still have a lot of research with that. I do want to present that to you. So be on the outlook for that. It's a little bit different from my normal research. It's going to be really AI focused. And then, of course, what, Elon Musk is doing as well. Videos, all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. Okay. All right. Let's go further down. Turbo up 140%. Wow. Derek, hi. Hey, welcome back. You bought Swiftcoin. Awesome. All right. Let's see here. Let's read this from Underdog. You can read that. You want to read that?
What do you get when you put the coverage of a hot and cold front? A thunderstorm. Maximus is hot on his research, and Black Roo lays it down so cold.
This is another thing. Bars, yeah. There you go. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Underdog. We would love to have you on again. Guys, give Underdog Research Channel a follow. If you love this style of deep dives and so on, you got to follow these guys that are in this space and so on. Obviously, Rue, who's here, special guest tonight, and also Underdog. He's been on the show before. I'm telling you flat out, you will love it. I think Underdog speaks way better than I do. I'm just going to throw a throw that out there. I mean, sometimes I may say a word twice, which is like I don't have a stutter, but sometimes it's like we read too much. Did I not? I said to you, I said,
Yeah, yeah.
man, is Underdog like, does he have a degree in communications? And you're like, no, he's got, he's into forensic analyst. But if I never knew that, I'd be like, man, this guy is like, he's on the radio or something, because his delivery is
Right.
it's just boom, boom, snap, snap. It's awesome. And I don't watch a lot of guys out there, because, a lot of times I do more of like just the reading. But Underdog is a guy who I do tune into, and I look forward to watching his premieres, especially when he talks about Swift Coin and so on. He has awesome, awesome research, you guys. You guys owe it to yourself. You appreciate this type of content, our format that we do, go to his channel, listen to what he has presented. It's not only like educational, it's entertaining, and it's just I love that type of material. So I'm a huge fan of Underdog, and I look forward to collaborating with you again, sir. We're gonna go further down, just a couple more comments. Underdog again, Max and Rue. When we do an all black shades Rue style video, I'm ready for. I got some shades. I got some Miami Vice
Yeah, we got to
sunglasses.
do that. The all shades interview. I'm
Right?
down for that for sure.
Well, thanks. Beeb says ERC is about to rip us. All right. Well, thank you for that. All right, Dementia Joe, y'all are the best. Well, thank you, Dementia Joe, with the interesting Janet yelling background.
Janet's yelling. That's
Janet
perfect, bro.
yelling. Yeah,
That's
that's funny.
perfect.
Oh God. Yeah, I understand a lot of people are going to vote for who they're going to vote for, but anyway, we'll just leave it at that. But
Right?
thank you, Dementia Joe. Great name, by the way. God. All right. Let's read this real quick. So Healy Adami Ardestani. Honestly, Jasmy KPI goal plus PDL is active. So $17 next bull run is very realistic. I'm glad you look at it that way. This bull run, I personally think $1 to $2 mid 2025. That's a great way of looking at it. You got to keep in mind it's the 2026 KPI targets. Those they always mention 2026. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. I'm just going to kind of quickly check out some comments. Craig Wright is Satoshi. Welcome back. We're all going to cover some more BSV here soon in the future. We have a special guest next week, by the way. A lady who even has a book about some of her things, but she's really into BSV. Special guest next Thursday. I'll introduce her to our community at least the day before on X. But I do appreciate you being back here. X marks the spot. Speaking of X, back in the house. And yeah, so there's a lot more comments, but we're just going to finally get into it because Rue's been waiting. And with that said, Rue, are you ready to get into the Swift coin, or I should say Swift blockchain and Axelar, the root black outline, sir?
For sure. Nice segue. I'm glad you mentioned Plaid and Andreessen Horowitz. One thing to kind of keep in the background, guys, is there's a lot of kind of interconnection with all of these guys. And Andreessen Horowitz, you could tell that he and Draper are boys. They did an interview together on Boost VC, which is Draper's son's VC platform. He had a podcast that he ran for a while. You can check it out. It's a Boost VC podcast, and he interviewed his dad and Mark Andreessen. So Max just talked about Andreessen Horowitz being involved with Plaid, and keep in mind that with Swift, we have a payment system here. So again, relating Jasmy and relating Swift to payment, you can see that Draper's kind of trying to get payment going here, right? He's connected to so many different blockchain exchanges. He's an initial investor in Coinbase, initial investor in Gemini, and an initial investor in tons and tons of other exchanges. Like I did an entire show on just exchanges that he's invested in, and I only got to a few of them, and I'm sure I missed some, right? So ultimately, understand and think that the goal is everything is going to be converted from fiat to crypto, okay? And these things like Swift, like a Jasmy, are going to be integral in payment, okay? Just wanted to let you guys know that in the background. And when we bring things like Swift and XLR into it, we also hit the whole thing about interoperability. Okay, everything is going to interoperate, and tools like XLR, tools like Cosmos and the Cosmos blockchain, um, tools like Swift are going to help for that to happen. So let me
Heck yeah.
share something with you guys here.
And to all those just tuning in, if you're wondering what particular time this is as far as our segments, we already covered Jasmy earlier. This is now the Swft and Axelar coverage brought to you from Rue. He's pulling up here in a bit, and we're going to get into that. I'm telling you flat out, this guy has been talking about this since I think last week, stating that, hey, man, we're going to have something in regards to Swft and Axelar. As you guys also know, I did that coverage about Stellar and Axelar, so I think this is great. I mean, to bring this to you guys as well. A lot to be mentioned when it comes to Axelar. I feel as though it's very, very obviously underrated.
For sure, it is. It's definitely underrated out here. Let's see here.
While you're pulling it up, buddy, I'm just going to see if there's anything else. E says, wait a minute, Max, do you believe Jasmy can run past 50 cents? Oh, yeah. E, do yourself a favor, okay? Go to the video section of this channel. Just click on, Liz says videos. Click on popular. It's the one that says Jasmy. It says, are you paper handing Jasmy to $1 to $3? I know that sounds nuts. And it says $17.87. Try $30 plus. Listen to what some of these guys that have been researching Jasmy for over 2 years have to state. Owe it to yourself to check that out, as well as some other research that we've done. Jasmy's going to surprise the living hell out of some people. All right, I see that you got that up. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Here you go, sir.
Okay, and this is just referencing a show that Max did a couple days ago. Soroban and XLR, and how they're going to deliver secure cross-chain. And if I can just go to this here. I know Max played this. We're not going to play it today. But basically, it was an interview with one of XLR's top engineers, how Soroban and XLR will deliver secure cross-chain communication for Web3. And then later on, Max let you guys know about how Draper University and Stellar were going to team up together and make projects for Soroban. And again, we know that Swift and Draper are highly related. If we come over here and go to Swift's website here, you can see Swift Blockchain is a platform that allows users to trade, invest, and transact in cryptocurrencies. Established in 2017, the company has the backing of renowned investors Draper Dragon and Node Capital. So Draper Dragon is one of Tim Draper's investment arms. And you can see they have tons of different cryptocurrencies and blockchains that they support. So if we scroll down here, one of the things I want to call to your attention is they do a great job of letting us know some information, but the biggest information is what they do not list on here, actually. Okay. So one of the things they don't list on here is Stellar. Okay. They do not show that they support Stellar Chain. One of the things they do not list on here is Cosmos. They do not show that they support Cosmos Chain. But one thing I would like to note here is if we look at the tokens they support, they do support XLM. It's right here, if you can see that. And then let me go. They also support Atom. So given that they support those things, you could kind of think that any Atom token, Atom is Cosmos, by the way, y'all. Any Atom token and any XLM token, they should support that. So, and we'll get into this a little bit more later And here we go, showing that they support Atom, which is Cosmos. One of the things that we really want to look at is their X, because in their X, Swift follows a ton of different tokens, and I would believe that if they're following that token, they probably support them. Okay, so we made that connection, right? So now let's do this. Let's make the connection from XLR to Swift. Okay. One of the things that we want to keep in mind, I'm going to reference my guy on Underdog Research, his channel again. Let me see. Do I have it up here? I should. Okay, here it is. Here. So he told us with MetaPath, right? MetaPath is basically Swift's NFT arm, if you will. Okay. Definitely
Sorry,
come over
buddy.
here.
We don't see that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you.
No problem. There you go.
Here you go.
You see it now.
So
Yep.
MetaPath is Swift's NFT arm. And like I said, definitely come over to Underdog Research channel and check out this video, Swift Coin, Complete Billionaire Blueprint. He has it in bite-sized pieces, but if you just check out the full plan, it's 2 hours, but I promise you, it's the best information you have on Swift out here, right? So I'm going to full screen this here. And what you can notice here is this is talking about Shima Capital. And Shima Capital has 200 million that they ended up investing in MetaPath, right? And you can see some names involved in here. We see Dragonfly Capital, Bill Ackman, Animoca Brands, OKX, Marana Ventures, Republic, and Andrew Wang, among others. But we're going to focus here on Dragonfly Capital. Okay. So there we have a connection there. And if you didn't know, one thing I also want to kind of point out to you, sharing this tab, this is information on Draper Fisher. I'm going to say Jerviston. This was another one of Draper's venture capital firms. And this will show that he was a seed investor in some of the biggest companies in the world, one of which that we want to focus on is Coinbase. Okay, so yes, Draper was an initial investor in Coinbase in 2014. Another thing that I want to kind of point out, since we mentioned Plaid and different things like that, there are connections with Plaid and XRP and XLM. There's also connections with Plaid and Stripe, okay, and all of those guys, Jed McCaleb, Peter Thiel, all of PayPal type mafia. Well, there's other connections with Tim Draper there, in that Tim Draper was an initial investor in Tesla. He was an initial investor in SpaceX, and he was an initial investor in Twitter. So there constantly seems to be this kind of connection with Elon and Tim Draper. So could he have been an initial investor in PayPal? I don't know, but we do continue to see Draper connections with Coinbase, with Stellar. So there's a lot of connections here with Tim Draper, and he continues to be a central person to follow for me when it comes to cryptocurrency. Okay. So now we have a Coinbase connection. So keep in mind here, we got the Coinbase connection. We got the Dragonfly Capital connection with MetaPath. MetaPath is Swift's NFT arm. Now let's take it from there. Okay. So if we go to XLR, and we're going to go to the funding rounds of XLR. So these are the funding rounds and who actually funded XLR. Okay,
Hold on a second, buddy. That screen is
okay.
not up. Yeah.
Jeez, I keep forgetting that. Thank you.
That's all.
Thank
No,
God.
nope. I'm glad I'm here with it. Yeah.
Right. So now we're going into who actually initially funded XLR. Okay. So they got funded to the tune of 113 million. So that definitely tells me that this thing I think has a bright future in front of it. We could go into a lot of things about how the X is a big theme in this year, and you can go into the whole esoteric part about the X, but I won't go into that today because that might confuse people. But let's just stick here with the funding. Okay, so one of the biggest funders here, Polychain Capital, Coinbase Ventures, and Dragonfly Capital. So here, if you go down to investors and backers, we see Polychain Capital, Coinbase Ventures, Dragonfly Capital. Now, I would tell you that all of these have relations to Tim Draper. We already saw the Dragonfly Capital from Underdog Research's video, their relation to MetaPath and how MetaPath is intimately connected to Swift. So now Coinbase Ventures, since Tim Draper owns part of Coinbase, he was an initial investor in Coinbase. Coinbase Ventures is basically a venture arm that he partly owns. Okay. And then if we look into Polygon or Polychain Capital, what we're going to notice with Polychain Capital is it was started by, you see here, the firm's founder, Olaf Carlson Wee, was
Sorry,
the
buddy.
first.
You're going to have to flip it to that one too.
Oh, God. Thank you.
No problem.
So what we notice about Polychain Capital, this is their funding. The firm's founder, Olaf Carlson Wee, was the first employee at Coinbase. Okay. So again, there's another Draper connection with Coinbase. But who were the lead investors here in this firm? Polychain Capital launched in September 2016 with $5 million from 30 investors. USV led Coinbase's Series A, and Andreessen. So here we are with Andreessen Horowitz again. Okay, so here we are, Andreessen Horowitz. Here we are, Polychain Capital being partially funded by Coinbase and ran by the first employee at Coinbase. Like you can't even make this stuff up, bro. Right? So largely, if we look at XLR and its top 3 funders, they're Draper connected people. Okay.
You need to pull up that one too.
Okay. So if we look at XLR and its investors, we see that its largest 3 investors, Polychain Capital, Coinbase Ventures, Dragonfly Capital, are Draper connected folks. So boom. So that's the connection here that we want to make here. We got the connection with Soroban and how XLR is saying that they're working with that. And we also have the connection here with XLR's investors, Polychain Capital, Coinbase Ventures, and Dragonfly Capital. So now, okay, have we completely connected Swift to XLR? Well, let's go to XLR's. Whoops. Okay, I know I'm not showing right now. Let me get this situated here.
It's all good. As you're pulling that up as well. I mean, this is great, by the way. Solid research as usual, Rue. I know it's in the comments. Yeah, you're welcome. I know it's in the comments. Corey Beebs, he was saying Polychain Capital also helped Caspa. Interesting.
Really? Very interesting. Thank you, Beebs. I'm going to have to look more into that. So let me put that down. And okay. So we see XLR Network. Deutsche Bank selects XLR developer as partner in joining the project Guardian in Singapore. Definitely check out my video. So definitely check out my video on Draper and all the different exchanges he's connected to. He's connected to tons of exchanges in Singapore. And like we've said, like Swift is really heavily involved in things in China and that side of the world. So Again, that connects XLR to Swift, but here's a more direct connection. If we go to XLR network and we look and see who's followers I know as far as XLR network is concerned, Swift blockchain. So I highly believe that Swift and XLR can interoperate. They just do not tell us that because they don't necessarily want it to be known. But yes, Swift is following these guys.
I'm glad that you brought up the whole thing about Project Guardian because you have the Monetary Authority of Singapore (MAS), and they're part of that mix. And a while back, when I was even doing the quant coverage, talking about, like, for example, a central bank marketplace, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They sit on that panel. You get what I'm saying? And then now you got this with all these connections. I do think it's a big deal. And, shout out to also G. He says, don't skip this message, so we won't. It says Coinbase has crypto's top investor, Tim Draper, backing, and top machine AI learning, Dr. Gurtha, over 200 patents, individual as chief of AI and CryptoSwap, which, you have Swift coin. He says Dr. Gurtha is from Silicon Valley, graduated from UC Berkeley, similar to the geographical and field background to Tim Draper, and of course, Swift blockchain.
That's huge. And thank you, G. G always comes over and shares great information on Swift. That's humongous. And if you guys have done, if you've watched my video, Tim Draper, Crypto Silent King, definitely check that out. Draper's dad was integral in setting up Silicon Valley. So there's a lot when you look at Draper in reference to California and things that happen in California. Like the Draper family is humongous there. I'm gonna have an upcoming show on that, but yeah, the Draper family is humongously involved in California and Silicon Valley. So like, yeah, that's just huge info. You cannot understate that.
Absolutely. G says, thanks for reading his comment. You think this is going to help out research? Guys, this is what it's all about when I post these things on X and I say, come join our community of research enthusiasts. So, like, if you have a solid comment, why wouldn't I not read it? I actually welcome that. A lot of times it's just like, so and so said hello to so and so, and that guy says hello to this guy, which is cool. But I like the deep dive research that people like you do. G, that's awesome. I'm gonna read this as well. B says, yes, Casper really didn't have any VC connections, however, but Polychain Capital was involved. Great job, you guys, tonight.
That's awesome, guys. And one thing I want to show you too while I'm here, let me pull this up. So here's the Draper Dragon portfolio. They have some of it on here on cryptorank.com. One of the things they do not show two of the things they actually don't show in the Draper Dragon portfolio over here is they don't show Swift. And we already showed you that Swift tells us that they're in the Draper Dragon portfolio, but they don't show it here on this site. They also do not show Thundercore, which Thundercore is shown on Swift site, but it's not shown here. So one of the things that they did, if you come over here and type in Draper, they added some extra Draper. It used to only be like these, like 4. They added Adam Draper. They added Draper Gorin Home, and Draper Gorin Home is the ones they're behind Casper Labs. So Tim Draper is an initial investor in Casper Labs as well. So Draper Roundtable, Draper University, Draper Startup House. And I hope if we go over here to Draper Gorin Home, you'll be able to see that Casper Labs, not only Casper Labs, which, okay, yep, they list it. Onera And Onera was in the news recently with Arcanix and Hedera, right? So we like there's no you cannot understate Draper's presence in cryptocurrency. Like how many things have we named now on top of Swift? Coinbase, Gemini, Casper, Caspa, Onera, XLR, Polychain Capital, Dragonfly Capital, connections with Andreessen Horowitz. Like the list goes on, and on. Okay, and when you take into mind, you keep into mind that his father was really integral in the start of Silicon Valley. Like now you can see that his son's being really integral in the entire start of cryptocurrency. So that should really make you enthusiastic and in the whole realm of follow the money. Like who's bigger money than this guy? I truly don't believe there's anyone else.
Yeah, I would agree with you with that comment you said like about a month ago, where you said that Tim Draper on paper $2 billion, but in reality, when you look at all the stuff he's tied into, so much more than that.
Oh, it's just tons. And and some of this you have to look into his son's portfolio. Let me see if I can bring it up. You got to look into his son's portfolio to actually get some of the things that like even totally that they're in. Okay, they only show Zap Chain for this, but if I can go to Boost, I think we went over this once before, but this does beg sharing again here. So this is the Boost VC portfolio. And if we go to About Us here, just so you guys know and see that Adam Draper's the guy that runs this. So there you are. Now if we go back to the portfolio, and this will show you actually some of the Singaporean exchanges. So this is good that we make a pit stop here. Okay, so we got Agrin, that's huge. Of course, Bitcoin. And in this particular fund, Draper exited Coinbase, but Coinbase is in like every one of his funds. So only in his son's portfolio has he actually exited. But in the other ones, he still has them. So let me see here. So here we are. Coin Haku. Buy and sell digital assets in Singapore and Malaysia. Okay, there we go.
There's your MAS connection too. That would make sense that the Monetary Authority of Singapore was posting all that recent news. Just throwing that out there. Anyway.
Oh, really? There we go. So that's exactly what we're connecting it to. So there, like, so here's another exchange here. Here we go with CoinNut, the most secure cryptocurrency exchange platform, Singapore. Okay, so there's two right there. Okay, and then I'm just going to point out some really kind of big ones here. Decentraland, Ethereum, okay, ETHScan, Gemini, which we talked about before, right? Filecoin, big in Asia. Ledger, Monero, right?
Yep. So your proof of works. We just talked about, for example, Corey Bibe was talking about Caspa. So to have another proof of work in the mix.
And here's actual proof right here, Polychain Capital, right? So here
there you go, Corey. Boom. There you go, Corey. There's your Polychain.
It shows that they're an investor in Polychain Capital, even though it did not show us here on, on the CryptoRank.com. Here's another also kind of VC firm they're involved in, Protocol Labs. Another big one here, Polkadot. Go down here. The Block, they exited that one, which is Square, Zcash, Unstoppable Domains. So I think those were the biggest ones.
We have a correction. G says he didn't mean to type Dr. Gurtha. He meant Dr. Rajarshi Gupta. So it's all good.
Gotcha.
You know, it's okay. Glad you stated that the right way. You know, sometimes girth can be a typo. All right, back to the topic.
So if you bring his son's things into view here, you see that we got some even bigger ones, and we definitely made the connection here with these Singaporean exchanges. So the biggest exchanges in America, Coinbase and Gemini, and I don't know, I don't know how big these are in Singapore. I think they're just kind of getting crypto infrastructure set up over there, but here we are, right? So yeah, I think that's big.
Absolutely big. You got some more you want to share?
I think that'll be it, sir. Well, let's just go. If I can just go to Draper Associates right quick.
Sure, no problem.
Just
I'm
to
not
show
rushing you.
you
I'm
guys.
just checking with you, buddy. Oh my gosh. Rue rugged himself from the program. He's gonna have to reconnect. All right, let me see what other comments you guys got until he comes back. I don't know. He might have lost his connection. Maybe his power went out. You never know. I mean, it's getting kind of hot here in Phoenix, but yeah, we'll try to wait for him to come back in. And hold on a second. Hopefully, we're still online. Let me double check that I didn't get rugged. Let's just double check. Yep, we're still here. All right, so we'll see what's going on with that. We'll kick it back into the comments until we wait for Rue to jump back in. And basically speaking, let's see here. Let's welcome a few of you guys. Great research tonight, though, from Rue, right? Absolutely. Give Rue a follow. Let's give him a plug while we're waiting. He can be followed on X and also YouTube. If you appreciate this type of coverage, here is his YouTube. It is Blackroot Investing. Learn how to invest in your future now. The Rue Black Crypto Rue podcast. And as you can see, all you got to type in on your search for YouTube is at Black Rue. He obviously covers quite a few things like Swift Coin. He covers, for example, Dragon Chain, Jasmy, quite a few other things, right? He's covered Veracity in the past. He has a live show. He does videos as well. So, yeah, you definitely owe it to yourself to check him out. Also on X, here he is, at Black Rue. So, definitely give these guys a follow that are part of the whole mix. Okay? Let's kick it back to the comments. Hopefully he shows up back up. I'll have to maybe give him a holler or something. I don't know. Let's see here. So we got a few comments we're going to get into. Serge is here for the long run. That's good. Mimu. When Lambo? That's a good question. Craig Wright is Satoshi. Nothing built on Ethereum can scale. Satoshi Nakamoto. Good way of looking at it, I guess. Greg Beatty, first time seeing you, Rue. Nice work. Well, thank you for the compliment to Rue. Dr. McLovin just subscribed to Underdog as well. That's awesome. Glad to see that. I think this game's almost over. I don't see the Celtics, or I'm sorry, I don't see the Pacers winning that. So you want to know something? Pacers blew game one. They had that. They had a 3-point lead with like 14 seconds left. That inbound from Halliburton to Pascal Siakam. That was a really bad inbound, and it went to overtime. They lost. They could have a tied series right now, 1-1. Now Celtics is 2-0. So anyway, but yeah, glad to have X marks the spot in the house. Dimension Joe says, y'all putting in the time. Thank you. You're very welcome. I give you the link to that song. All right, Rue is back. Let's go ahead and add him back. What happened, buddy?
I have no idea. I have no idea what happened there.
People behind the scenes trying to rub connections. Scott, right?
Seriously, I didn't press any, like I didn't close anything. I have no idea what happened.
It's all good.
That's
Welcome back.
insane.
I was
That's
about to give you a
that's a little
call.
scary for me. I've never had
Yeah.
that happen before.
Yeah, talking too much about the Swft coin thing, you know. We don't want the whole world to know about this, you know. Right? I did give you a plug and mention your channel a little bit while we're waiting for you. We're gonna go further down. Let's welcome the one and only Michael Cornwell, aka Elon Muff. Glad to have you back, sir. You know, look at that. That ought to be a rock band, right? You know, bro. Do you listen to Elon Muff? Yeah, bro. I saw him down at the Sledge Fest. Yeah, you know. All right, let's read this from Kunk City Juicy Jasmy. Yes, absolutely. Instead of when Lambo, when Poon. I can't believe you said on my show. Anyway, forget that. Let's move on. God. All right. If ETH is a commodity, then everything like it is super bullish. That's a great point.
Yep.
Yeah. And we're going to agree to disagree with some of this. I know some of our BSV researchers and enthusiasts are going to come out and say, what the heck, right? It's okay. We welcome all opinions. We can agree to disagree on some of the stuff. All right. So say Shen, if I pronounce that wrong, isn't it a bit bearish for XRP when they said the Fed can't pass a CBDC? Well, you could look at it that way, but you know what? Just kind of like Brad Garlinghouse mentioned, I mean, if things went dramatically south for XRP in regards to the United States and still got labeled as security and so on, they were going to move on. You know, there's a whole other continent, Europe and other places in the world other than the United States. So, all right, let's read this from G. You want to read this since he's
Sure.
one of your boys? Yeah.
The person who added the posting about Swft money, Graham and Stellar on Coin Radar was not publicly known as a part of Swft. I have found this account on Coin Radar also posting news on Block V. Wow, that's cool. That's cool, G. Block V is definitely one that's like big out there, and their smart NFT technology. That's pretty cool, man.
Very good. He's got another one for you.
This person I speak of goes by, let's say, Laysane on Coin Radar. I haven't found any ties with him to Swft or Block V, which are two different projects with no obvious connections to each other. 100%, but two definitely big kind of projects in that Block V and ties to Visa and doing NFT stuff for Visa. That's pretty cool. Yeah, if he's gonna pick two projects to be in, those are definitely two big ones, two good ones, or in my opinion, not financial advice. Do your own research there for sure.
Absolutely. We have a pretty decent crowd here tonight, guys. Appreciate 275. Maybe we can get up to 300. Those of you guys are tuned into X and even YouTube. Like I mentioned before, follow Rue on YouTube at Black Rue, BLACKRUE. And it's the same also for X, right? At Black Rue. You more than appreciate it. And just to give everybody a heads up, your live show is what days, what times?
Wednesday at 6 p.m. ish Pacific Standard Time, and then Saturdays 10 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. Of course, we're in Arizona, so that kind of fluctuates. It might be Pacific Standard Time, it might be Mountain Time,
yeah.
but it's Pacific Standard Time at the moment.
Yeah. We're going to read a couple more. I'll let you read it. This is from G again.
In other words, I believe that Lassane is just an investor that posted that Swift MoneyGram Stellar announcement, since he has posted about another project. That post did get deleted. So it's funny though. Even though that post got deleted, like all of this information now comes out and connects like Draper and Stellar, right? So it's very funny that information now is now coming out, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. He says maybe he had insider knowledge to such Swift coin partnership.
It seems so, because now we got the Draper University teaming with Stellar, and they kind of gone out of their way, like we showed you, right? On Swift's site, they do not show that they work with the Stellar blockchain. So they kind of gone out of their way to kind of not explicitly say that they're working with Stellar until this point in time, right? So I think maybe he did have some inside knowledge.
It's a good point. We got a lot of good posts from G, but let's welcome Blackwood. I welcomed you in the comments. Good to see
What's
brother
up, Blackwood?
Blackwood in the house. G's got another comment. He says, Gupta, right? Not, Gurtha. Bad joke. Anyway, is a cybersecurity and AI genius, the most prolific investor in history.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. All right, these are my comments. And hold on, we got a brand new fan of the show. I want to welcome you. It is the one and only White B Rule Investing Scam.
Hey, my evil doppelganger, who apparently has way better eyelashes than I do, right there. So, is that lipstick, or is that? God, Jesus, what's going on there, White Ruel? What's going on?
Rue White, so Rue Black, Rue White.
Funny story about that. I used to do some stage acting back in the day, and one of my co-stars, his name was like Romel White. So it was like black and white on the stage.
Geez.
We were both two black guys, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah, you guys can get away with that. If it was the other way around, we can't get away with that, right? Anyway, like there'll never be a WET, right? There'll be BET, there'll never be WET, man. Like that's gonna get rugged in like 5. That's never happening. It's just that'll be rugged in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Anyway,
that sounds like a sweet meme coin, though. Somebody is now just making the BET meme coin right now as we speak.
Right, and they're partnered with Elizabeth Horan meme coin, right? I'm sure you've seen that one. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Look it up. It's actually done really well. It's called Elizabeth Horan. I'm not joking. It's a real. Bro. It's been around for a while, and it's actually done really well.
That's priceless.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys are having a good time. Just me, Wes. Welcome. Scott. You guys are having a fun time. That's good. Always have some fun while you're watching and listening. G says the powers that be scammed us from Root Alpha. Right. Yeah, exactly. Making connections like this got deleted and then immediately Root disappears. I mean, say what you want. Like, interesting.
They're like, nah, this can't be. We got to stop this.
Right. All right. $2 super chat from Root White. Swift coin. Well, thank you for the $2 super chat from the one and only Rue White.
Who's this is also funny. I used to do some substitute teaching, and I run on the board. My name's Mr. Black because that's my last name, right? And the students just looked at me, and one like Latino student was just like, "Sir, that's racist. I can't call you that." I'm like, "No, that's my last name." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's quite funny. It's quite funny.
That's
quite funny. But We
Yeah, but
cleared
think
that up, and they were okay. But I don't honestly, to be honest, I still don't think they referred to me as Mr. Black.
well, if that Latino kid could see that now, right? See Rue White, right? Of white, whatever that is, White B Rue Investing. He says, "I'm back again. Tell a friend." Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Anyway, Marie Villa says, "Good evening, Maxa, and Rue." Well, thank you so much, Marie. Welcome.
Good evening.
All right, Brian Dowie's in the house. Max, what I miss? You missed a lot, but it's all good. You know, we're not talking about Stellar and XRP tonight, but we always welcome you, Brian, and appreciate you being here, man. Oh, Brian Dowie. All right, let's read this from Dennis Leal, Francisco Dennis Leal. He says, Elon Musk, not Elon Muff, was just in Indonesia for Starlink. That's a typo. Announcement. Indonesia president commented on how Starlink is critical to their new digital economy. Starlink will be a big player in crypto infrastructure. I would agree with that.
For sure, 100%. We've made the connections between Elon Musk and PayPal and Stripe, and definitely there Jed McCaleb, XRP, and XLM. And different people have talked about Stronghold also going on, possibly being used for Twitter payments. And again, we kind of made the connection here with Tim Draper and Elon, because almost all of Elon's companies had Tim Draper as an initial investor. SpaceX, Tesla, and Twitter, which Elon apparently bought later, but who knows what was going on there, because Tim Draper was initially invested in it. But there you go.
Great way of looking at it. Let's read this from Beebs. He says, Dag Labs was primarily funded $8 million from Polychain Capital to implement Ghost Dag in the open source code of Casper in that exact voice. Thank you so much, Corey Bibe.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, anyway. Rue White's giving you a bunch of high fives. It's nice to have a fan. You know what I mean? It's like, what if somebody came in? Huh?
Hey, I love it. I love it.
Good. Yeah, exactly. It's like, what if somebody came in here with the name instead of, Mr. Stanley, it was like Mr. Craftsman or, Mr. Steamer or something. I don't know. It's just whatever. Stanley Steamer. Bad joke. Anyway. All right. Kindle Uncle. Swiftcoin is still very undervalued. I agree with that. Believe at the peak of this parabolic bull run, Swift with the circulation supply will reach $1 at the moment. Yeah, I totally look at it that way. I also look at the tokenomics for Swiftcoin. It's very appealing. Only 10 billion compared to other projects with much more. I mean, even Stellar is 50 billion, Ripple XRP 100 billion. And the way I look at it, like even Jasmy, as far as price goes, right? I mean, how many times did DCA to Jasmy to get over, a million Jasmy? I kind of look at Swiftcoin from that same perspective, like, I could buy, like, even if the price goes up to like 0.006, well, for $600, that's 100,000 Swiftcoin, right? Of course, I bought at the 0.004s and so on, and I'm up in the profit still. But I look at Swiftcoin, I look at Stronghold SHX, as in like those two, you could still buy a lot for not much, and could really blow up a market cap. These are assets that are so much more than like a 5x, 10x, and so on, like way higher than that. So anyway, let's read a few more comments. Thank you for the time information. Yeah, you're very welcome. Plutobolic. Rue White, don't forget to follow White Rue as well. Okay. All right. Oh, jeez. Dementia Joe calls him a white boy. Beebs Caspa was envisioned by a R&D company, Dag Labs, through investment by Polychain Cap. Beebs, you always surprise me now and then. You are paying attention. You are researching. I love seeing that. I like seeing the comments where it's just not, just a typical hi, how's it going, blah, 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 which is cool. But we like to see that you guys are really looking into this stuff. So, tonight's interactions, right, Rue, have been great. G,
They have.
Beebs, some of you other guys, it's been awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right, let's see here, bro. That's an interesting comment. All right, Tim Shea, you made it, Rue, when people are copying you. That's a good point,
Thanks,
man.
brother.
Yep. All right, Dennis Lil, Francisco. He says he has a small bag of Block 5. Are you familiar with that?
I think Block 5. I think he's saying Block V.
Oh, my bad. Eric Pulier with connections to Peter Diamonds or Diamondis. Might be a typo. See, I'm not aware of some of this stuff. I don't know everything either. I'm still learning things. Reed Collins from Tether, also involved with Block V. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Interesting. Scam. Yeah, Rue White. And all of a sudden, interesting. Now Elon Musk is back.
Ah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I gotta say, Kendrick Lamar, he not only destroyed Drake, it was like he went over his grade. He murdered him while he was dead, and then some. He dropped like Hiroshima bombs on him over and over and over, and it's just don't piss off Kendrick Lamar. You know what? Anyway.
I have to say I've been focused on other things. I haven't really followed it like that.
Yeah, the little that I did follow, I didn't get really into it because it was kind of like there's Tupac hit him up and Biggie Smalls who shot you, right? But then there's like hours and hours in. Yeah, I didn't get into all that, but from what I saw on Circus, I would say definitely Kendrick Lamar won that. But anyway, teach his own. Fiber Finance, hey, good to see you, man. Always give these guys a follow. Fiber Finance does an excellent job with his research as well. He says, let's go. 1.75x in the house. All right, let's see here. SHX on fire. I'm still up in the profits on that and Swift Coin. Blackwood, SHX, and Velo are great projects. I may finally get into Velo. I don't want to make no promises, but I'm leaning towards that. It's just I still want to stack more of what I already have. It's hard to own everything, unless you're Tim Shea and Michael Cornwall, right? Anyway, G says you can read that. Sorry.
I know you guys are going to cover Casper's spotlight on IBM ThinkStage. Q3 prove AI coming.
I'm down for that. I cover Casper as much as I can. It's been a while since I covered it last, but what really stands out for me, Casper with IBM partnership for generative AI, what they're looking to do annually in that industry is huge. A lot of times Casper doesn't get enough of its, I guess you could say, of its flowers. You know what I mean? Like credit where credit's due. It's extremely underrated with huge upside potential. Not necessarily like upside potential by like the next month or two, but if we talk about long term, it's got to be way up there. Kenneth Robinson's in the house. Welcome. We did receive another super chat, but let's read this real quick. Dementia Joe, Elon, Muff, effing love. Well, thanks, Dementia Joe. Appreciate that, man. What train are you trading, Axelar? Do you have an answer for that?
Well, I just bought some on Coinbase and Uphold. I was going to try to move it to my decent wallet, but I'm not going to move that just yet because they don't have the Cosmos XLR on there. So I just have it on those two platforms. And I also went over to my Kepler and got some more. I don't think you can stake XLR for much on there, but that was something that I was going to look into as well.
Hey, I just want to thank you guys. We scale way up, even though we finished the Jasmy coverage and the Swift and so on. We're getting to the comments. This is awesome. We're at 305. This tells us that you guys still appreciate the coverage, even though we're just kind of interacting with the community. Come on over, whether you're on X or YouTube. Glad to have you guys. Special guest, Rue Black. So a lot of you guys are watching from X, 232 of you. So those 232 of you, I just want to state this. You owe it to yourself to do what? Well, it's basically do this right now. Do it right now. Do it. Do it now. Go over and follow Rue Black he actually pumps iron before the show. I told him, I was like, you look really good. You look like you actually are pumping iron. And he told me, he's like, yeah, I am. Look at this. Look at behind my green screen. I'm actually pumping the iron. And I was like, oh, wow, you know, anyway.
Hey, man, we're trying out here. We're trying to pump it up.
You gotta pump it up. All right. Let's read this real quick. From Filipino Ice Cube. So we have
White Rue investing.
And then we got my friend Filipino Ice Cube. He says, let's effing go. Thank you so much, man. Filipino Ice Cube. That's awesome. But on the real though, you know, give Rue a follow at Black Rue on X. And then a lot of you guys are still watching from YouTube, and we appreciate that. 81 of you. Also give him a follow at Black Rue. Here it is on YouTube. I'll zoom in more about that. But yeah, follow these guys in this space and so on. So, you know, we really appreciate the support, guys. It's awesome. You like that Filipino Ice Cube? Anyway.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what some people told me. Because, you know, they see this, you know, it's not Doughboys, you know, from Boys in the Hood, Ice Cube's Detroit D, where you're from. Detroit, you're the D. Everybody else is the new kid on the block about to get smacked back to the boondocks, right? You know, freaking non-researchers. The research ain't our type, so take some real financial advice and form a group with Vanilla Ice. And what Rue tells you, you better use it. This is Filipino Ice Cube and White Rue, not hillbilly music, right? Anyway.
Watch what we do.
I stole that from 8 Mile, obviously. All nice. Right. Yeah.
I thought that was straight off the dome. I was about to say, okay, Max, you got a second career coming, bro.
No. Well, I am actually need to really do some collaborations with what's his name? Henry Brown. And it's something we've been talking about for a while, but we're actually looking to do some stuff. It's kind of like crypto education, but like in hip hop. For real, it's a real thing. I just gotta take the time to really do it. So some people say don't quit my day job. It's not about that, but Henry's really gifted when it comes to that. Like he's a DJ basically, and I'm just like he's got some awesome. He's really really good with that, and he's literally from the LA area. Anyway, all right, let's see. Let's grab that development. I agree, Brian. I'm leaning towards that. It's just I want to stack a lot more of what I have. I haven't reached all my goals. We're going to go further down. Tim Shea says Blackwood, the potential for return on investment on Ethereum is huge. I've seen a little bit of that. Do you own that? Have you researched that?
I do own that, and I made some connections with that. Check out my show yesterday. I made some connections with Ethereum and Swift. So definitely check that out. Like
now I have to check that out. Yeah.
Oh man, it's so huge. Like I think people are very, very much sleeping on Ethereum, and it's freaking like $14 million market cap. So it's still time to kind of scoop up some and accumulate. People are definitely sleeping on that. And you can like put it over on their platform, Ethereum's platform for staking. So people are sleeping.
Nice. All right, let's read this from Beeves. He says, it's the Filipino Ice Cube and White Rule Shaw. Bring that beat back. Scat. Okay. The Shay that sprays from far away. That's correct. All right, Blackwood's got a comment. Made the mistake of not looking into Reddit more. I don't even know about some of this stuff, guys. So you guys know about a lot of projects. I mean, I do too, but I don't know about everything. But how about that? Do you know about that? RETIK? I never heard of that.
I do not. I haven't heard of that one.
Blackwood, real quick, if you don't mind, what stands out about that? All right, Tim Shea, heard good things about YBX. Haven't got anything yet. Yeah, I'm just kind of joking around, having a fun time. All right, Tim Shea, you guys having a good time. Peace out, y'all. Have a great weekend. You too, Dementia Joe. We'll hope to see more of you. Wait, what? Can I stake my Ethereum? Can you answer that? Or you already did?
I did. If you go on Ethereum's site, you should be able to stake it. I haven't quite done it myself yet, but they said that they have it. So
awesome. All right, so we're gonna wrap up the show. We'll play the outro here in a bit. But of course, I want to give Rue a plug one more time. He can be followed on YouTube over here at Black Rue. Okay. Is there anything you want to talk about in regards to your channel on YouTube, your live, all that, or before we wrap things up?
Yeah, definitely come over there and join, guys. We'd also have a Telegram. If you look at any links of the show, you can come and join the Telegram. It's completely free. Some of the things that we cover the most is Swift, Dragon Chain, LCX, and some other coins here. But yeah, we'd love to have you guys over there. And thank you guys for your time and attention. And hopefully I've earned a follow and a like from you guys, both here on YouTube and on X.
Heck yeah. And also, here's his X. Anything you want to share in regards to X? Maybe you don't have to, but anyway.
Well, we're really trying to grow that. I'm really trying to put some more information on that. We're trying to grow both the X and the YouTube. So yeah, if you can come over and give a follow, I would definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. I just want to recognize just like maybe 2 or 3 comments. Love this guy, bullish choices. You've been a great supporter. Send me DMs, reposting, part of a community and so on. Great avatar. It says hi Max and community. Bullish choices. Show's about to end, but you can always go back and watch from the beginning if you want to, or if you want to wait for the chopped up segment, chapters and so on. You're totally welcome. But yeah, glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you here. Read this comment for Blackwood. Blew up after pre-sale. He knows someone who invested 5,000 or 500 and now up over 12K. Oh wow! And that is in regards to, I think he said no, I thought he said Reddick. Yeah, because that was
Reddick. Okay, gotcha.
Reddick. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look more into that. All right, so Real, you have the closing, the last words, sir. It's been great having you on, by the way.
Again, thank you guys so much for having me. I hope I earned a follow and a follow from you on X and on YouTube. You guys are always a welcoming community. Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate the fun that we have with a couple of the names and stuff there. It's always good fun coming over here. Thank you guys again for having me.
Absolutely. Rue, you're welcome to stay for the outro. If you want to leave, that's fine. I'll play the 2 outros. We're closing it out. Smash the like on your way out, guys. And possibly could see you over the weekend. No guarantees, guys. Know what you have. Know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. It's been a great show. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Over and out.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kinda odd. No barking from the dog, no small. And mama cooked the breakfast with no haul. I got my glove on, but didn't dig out. Finally got a call from a girl I wanna dig out. Booked it up for later as I hit the door, thinking, will I live another 24? I gotta go cause I got me a drop top, and if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop. Had to stop at a red light, looking in my mirror, not a jacker in sight, and everything is alright. I got a beat from Kim, and she can fuck all night. Called up the homies, and I'm asking y'all, which fuck are y'all playing? Basket on the court, and I'm troubled. Last week fucked around and got a triple-double. Freaking nigga every way like MJ. I can't believe a day was a good day. Shit. I can't believe today was a good day. Standing on the corner smoking, just driving some of the hottest cars New York has ever seen. From dropping some of the hottest voices rappers ever heard. From the dope spot with the smoke, fleeing the murder scene, you know me well. From nightmares of a lonely cell, my only hell my brother Biggie, baby. You know it's hell when I come